Hi, my name is Hannah Mutron. I am going to talk about a new calibration step in our AI metadata for architectural images pipeline. In doing evaluations for this pipeline, we had every member of this team separately grading and scoring the outputs. And what became really clear is that even people who were in basically the same role had very different ideas of what they wanted from the LLM, what kind of detail they wanted or conventions. And we, in talking about it, realized that that was the same case for different collections. So the need for personalization became clear, hence the development of the calibration step. The calibration step is where we send a certain number of sample images from a collection to an AI, have it generate initial metadata, and then the archivist or whoever is working on the collection at that time edits it, and it can then be used as an example and a guide for the LLM as it processes the rest of the collection. It is included as a part of the prompt. We are going to do the demo today on a collection, a small part of the collection for images of Charles Stephen Dilbeck. You can see the drawings here. And we also have in that same folder a little bit of information about the collection taken from the finding aid. First thing is to make sure that we have our calibration count set to what we want it to be. We're going to just do one drawing for our calibration step today. Let's do a quick run. And here's our result. It is just like doing the full run of step one, so that initial metadata is extracted. We can open the image in a new tab to see it full screen, and I'm going to do some quick edits so that it becomes really obvious how making these changes in the calibration step will affect the rest of the outputs. So we have simplified the description, and I'm going to add the architect and I'm going to add the date to that description just to create, a repeatable formula. For the title, again, something really clear. I'm going to add the collection, and I'll add the sheet number. For the date, I'm going to change the convention so that the year will be a 4-digit. This one is sort of interesting because sometimes Mr. and Mrs. Algae Hill will already be two people. Regardless, here it's not. It's just been simplified to Algae Hill. And so we'll create this convention of naming, both people when their names are combined like that. And I'm going to add Dallas, Texas as the place where the architectural offices are. And we'll just take out all the components and the drawing types, and we'll leave only like basic building type in use for subjects. So now I've exported it and I'm putting it in the exports folder, and then I can come over here to the calibration step again and just run it with the export argument. And it will process the decisions that have been made and create a file that will live in the collection folder with the example, the full original output, plus the changes that have been made, plus a style guide that has been generated by an LLM call based upon the changes that were made. And all of it can be edited. It's a text file, so it is sent with the prompt when it goes, and sometimes it will capture the conventions very well. Other times it will slightly misunderstand something. So if there is a misunderstanding, then you can go in and edit it to be exactly the way that you want. Now let's just run it on the full, 4 images in this mini collection. Let's look at our results. So I'm opening up the review interface, entering my name, and now we can see that for title, collection is there, the sheet is there. This is the first record, so we'll skip to the second record to really get a sense of the way that it's being carried into the rest of the outputs. But you can see here that the description is much simpler, but it does include the architect and it includes the date. The date on the drawing is a 4-digit year. The contributors have been broken out so that Mr. and Mrs. Algie Hill are written separately as clients. I want sheet info to be written with the convention sheet number 1 instead of just sheet 1. So we'll go back and fix that in a minute. First, I want to show you that our subjects, our topics are now limited to building types and uses, really simplified, which is, of course, also affecting the subject headings. So we have a lot of control over that as well. Let's go back and change the way that sheet number is going to be written in our outputs. I can see here in the style guide that it has taken its cue from the edit that I made to the title, but I don't want it to. I want it to actually write out sheet number 3 or what have you. So I've made the change, and now we're going to rerun, and you'll see that it's very responsive to small changes like this. There it is. I hope you enjoyed the demo. Get in touch if you have any questions. Thank you so much.